consider reducing the quality. So I reduced the quality to high. We are running into some ice, maybe even some snow. I don't know what that is. But our destination is Tillamook, Oregon. And we are about 7 minutes away from our initial approach fix, and we should start descending. I am running into some ice. I don't know if that's affecting my speed. I know that I'm running also into a 28 knot headwind. And checking the ATIS, or the ASOS, Automatic Surface Observation Station, automated weather. So wind is 195 at 8. The weather is changing pretty quickly here. And then looking at our flight plan here, we have an RNAV approach, and we're going to start descending right here at Foxtrot Echo Tango Uniform Juliet. We're going to descend to 2,800 feet. Once we start descending, once we hit this initial approach fix, we should start pointing toward the runway, and we'll start our descent. I have an RNAV loaded, so procedure. Not exactly sure when to activate vector to final. I don't think yet. So I am not a pilot. I have never flown in a Cessna. The smallest plane that I've ever flown in was a Piper Cherokee. I did fly in a T-39 when I was in the Navy. Me and a buddy of mine flew in a T-39, and Saberliner. They don't make those anymore. But we flew out of Travis Air Force Base in a C-141 transport plane, C-141 Starlifter, if I recall correctly. Yeah, it's a C-141 Starlifter. I don't think they make those anymore either. But we flew there to Bergstrom Air Force Base in Texas, over in Austin, Texas, and we were there for a couple of days. We were waiting for another plane, and then they said, "Hey, there's a Learjet." You know, one of the guys, I didn't know, it was a Saberliner, but anyway, there's like a small jet there. They're going to be flying to Virginia. If you guys want to hop on that, you know, there's a couple of generals. So anyway, we got on that. It was really cool. You know, we sat in the back there, and there was a general on board. And as we're coming into Virginia, it was landing in the middle of a thunderstorm, and even the general, who's probably flown plenty of planes himself, was white-knuckled. We were just bouncing around. But then we landed there, and then we didn't know. We thought maybe we'd be there for a couple of more days. Our destination was Ohio. And they said, "Hey, there's another T-39 that's going to be flying to New York, LaGuardia, I think it was, and picking up another general and then going to Ohio, where you guys are going. Do you guys want to do that?" And, "Yeah, we'll do that." And so we had the T-39, that one, all to ourselves, going to New York. And then we picked up that general, and then that general, and we also picked up another guy that was hopping on a MAC flight, and he was in the Air Force. But that general was telling us that they were doing low-level flights on B-52s, he said that they were doing a, you know, like 100 feet elevation or altitude, you know, flying low-level flights in B-52s, and it was really neat. It's just something I'll never forget. I remember when we were going from Virginia to New York, it was in the evening, and we were flying in between thunderstorms, and it was really cool. I mean, you could see some of the clouds there. It's just something I've never seen before. You see lightning go from one cloud to the other cloud, and it was just neat. It was just a memorable experience that I'll never forget. T-39 Saberliners. So we're getting pretty close to our initial approach fix. The icing, we've still got a little bit of icing. I think we'll be okay though. I don't know if I would want to, you know, in real life, if I were in a Cessna and I started seeing icing, I definitely would want to probably maybe fly a little bit over the ocean, so I wouldn't have to worry about the hills. But I definitely want a lower elevation so that I wouldn't ice up. It's something that you don't think about with these Cessnas whenever they're flying, is icing conditions. But I don't think on the airframe there's any icing. I don't see any icing on the airframe. Not to say that there isn't, but there's certainly some icing on the windows, as it is -4 degrees Celsius. So now we are on our approach fix, and our vertical path is now active. So I'm going to go ahead and back off a little bit now on our power so that we don't overspeed. And I'm going to hit, see if this works now. I'm going to hit my approach. Yes, the glide path now is loaded. So we should be all set up now for the an RNAV approach to Tillamook. Now, our initial approach fix, we are 5 miles to our final approach fix. So what I want to do now, let's see what this thing says, the flight plan here. Okay, we want about, what's the target? About 456. So we're doing good on our descent here. I'm bringing it down, the speed down. I'm going to do flaps 1. Again, I'm not a pilot. I don't know if you would just, you know, just fly until you get to your final approach fix. But I'm going to go ahead and cancel flight following.
Seattle Center, Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie, cancel flight following.
Cessna 7 Charlie Charlie, Seattle Center, cancellation received. Squawk 1200. Frequency change approved.
200 back. And now I'm going to contact Tillamook. Tillamook. Flaps 2. Speed, adjusting speed accordingly. Full rich mixture. Select runway for landing. We are landing runway 13. And then full stop landing. Position.
Kilo Tango Mike Kilo traffic Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie 11 miles northwest,
Back off on our
3,600
power.
feet,
We
inbound
got
to land
like
runway
a side
13.
wind right here. We'll listen one more time to the weather.
Kilo Tango Mike Kilo, automated weather observation.
175.
010 Zulu. Wind 175 at 4. Visibility
So
10.
altimeter is 3009.
1,800 feet, scattered ceiling 4,600 feet broken. Temperature 7C, dew point 10C, altimeter tree 009er.
Alrighty. So the temperature is 7 degrees Celsius. Our position,
Kilo Tango Mike Kilo Traffic Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie
9
Charlie 9
miles.
miles northwest 3,300 feet inbound to land
about
runway 13.
1.5 miles now from our final approach fix. The glide path is loaded. We are almost to altitude 31. It's a GPS RNAV plus V is what it says right here. Not exactly sure what that means. There are, you know, a lot of on YouTube channels about instrument flying. It's just a wealth of information on YouTube, which is really cool. Me, I'm just sharing my hobby. One day when I grow up, I'd like to own a Cessna and do this in real life, but okay, now I'm adjusting the speed accordingly. There's a diamond there, and we are now at altitude 2,800. You can see this diamond coming down. So that should lead us right to the runway. The runway is in sight. You can see the runway lights right there. And we got quite a side wind right here. Look at the plane right here. Look at the top. That's how much we're getting pushed off to the side. So we might have to crab in a little bit when we get in. All right, now we are on our descent. This is Tillamook. If you ever get a chance to go to Tillamook, make sure you go to the cheese factory. They give out free samples, and also you might be able to, you know, buy some blocks of cheese. Tillamook cheese is famous worldwide, and also I do believe that it's right over here. There is an air museum there in Tillamook, and a lot of old planes. I think there's a Messerschmitt NB262 in there, and some other planes. World War II era. And then there's another air museum in Oregon, in McMinnville. And I never even knew about it. You know, the McMinnville Air Museum is just about as big as the one that's in Seattle. But it's like a big old huge air museum. It's an air and space museum, and it also has an IMAX theater there, and it's like right in the middle of the country. It's almost, you know, almost like this, a farm country, you know, in McMinnville. But we were there, and this is some years ago now, but we were there, and there was this World War II pilot that flew P-38, and he actually had to bail out of it. And they were saying that that little crossbeam in the back between, you know, in there's two tails on it, and there's a crossbeam, and they were saying that some pilots, there was some people that would jump out that would actually hit them. So there was a method to jump out of it, but this guy actually did jump out of it. He was sharing his story. World War II veteran. Now I went full flaps. I'm going to go ahead and say final.
Kilo Tango Mike Kilo Traffic Cessna November Charlie 77 Charlie Charlie is on final runway 13 to land.
I'm using the GPS RNAV approach, and what you would do in real life here is there's a go-around procedure. So what you would do in real life, the way I understand, is on that go-around procedure, you'd want to increase your altitude to whatever the assigned altitude is for that go-around procedure, and if you miss then you start climbing toward that altitude, and then go on toward your, let's go ahead and back that up. You go around, you go on to your missed approach, and then there's a circle you would circle around. But we're not gonna mess. We're gonna nail this. I got a little bit of a crosswind, so I'm gonna have to use my rudder pedals here to land this. We got a 17 knot crosswind, so in real life I know that would be pretty tricky. 16 knot, 17 knot, at least at this point it's 17 knots. Maybe when we get a little closer it'll be a little bit less, but that still would be pretty tricky in a Cessna. I see PAPI lights there. PAPI stands for Precision Approach Path Indicator, and you need 2 white and 2 red. Looks like I have 3 white and 1 red, which I don't mind because I see trees. My goal with this, with these live broadcasts here, I want to fly this Cessna with this glass cockpit all the way down to South America, to the southern tip of South America. I'm just interested to see what we can see, and I'm also interested in to see how long it would take. So now it looks like we have, do we have 2 red? It looks like it's just 2 PAPI lights. Oh no, it's 4. Well, those trees are kind of high. I don't know, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Those trees. There's an air museum. You can see it to your left. Take a look at that through our drone once we get on the ground. So, okay, autopilot is off. I got 4 red. There we go. This is a pretty neat airport. Okay, I'm bringing her down here. Flare right about the touchdown zone. Okay. Alrighty. Flaps up. Not exactly sure where to park here. Right over there. There's a fire truck. Was I flying that bad? Oh boy, they're coming right for me. Oh, okay. There's a bus there. We'll get on that bus and go to that air museum. And that's what I do for a living, by the way. I drive one of those. Not one that big, though. I drive the smaller buses. I drive a bus without wings. Or a plane without wings. I don't know if I want to just park over here by the fuel. I thought that was a highway for a minute. That's actually part of the runway, isn't it? So that was a little bit of a crosswind landing, so that was pretty interesting. See if we can get some fuel. Microsoft Flight Simulator, the old version, you could save it. You could save right where you were right here. I could park the plane right here, and then I could save it, and then the next flight I would just start right exactly where I was. I don't know if you can do that with this one, but I guess I'm not close enough to the fuel for to say add more fuel. Try to go around a little bit. Try not to hit that. Hit pretty close. See, maybe park in front of it. There we go. Fill me up with regular. No, it's not popping up. Usually the fuel thing pops up. Maybe I'm not close enough. Need to get a little closer. There we go. Yes. So we had started off with 50%. We have 32% left. And so that's how much fuel it took us to go from Hoquiam, Washington, to Tillamook. I'm going to go ahead and shut her down. Let me go ahead and park or brake. And lights off, pitot heat off. Switches off, battery off, and there we go. Let's go ahead and look at one more thing real quick. We wanted to look at this air museum. If you ever go to Tillamook, besides the cheese, they got good cheese there, but you definitely want to go to this air museum. And in this air museum, look at that. This right here is a point of interest on Microsoft Flight Simulator. Tillamook Air Museum. And how'd you like to fly that plane? Isn't that pretty cool? I'm going to take a picture of that print screen. Tillamook Air Museum. Another one. Print screen. So that'll save to my hard drive. Yeah, it's not a very big, and that's some haystacks right there. And that's really, I mean, in real life, I mean, haystacks are flattened out, but there really are haystacks there. I remember seeing that. But that's a pretty nice museum to go to. I'm going to go ahead and go back down a level there. And then now what you can do on this drone here is you can actually slow it down enough to walking speed. So a drone speed about 2. And so now we're, oh, no, that didn't work. That was way fast. What did I do it? Drone speed, oh, rotation speed. The difference. Rotation speed, whatever. So drone speed, now we're walking. So we'll walk along this fence right here. And we hop over the fence. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. And now what I want to do is I want to check out this plane. I wonder if I can get one of those ramps right there. Ooh, is that a cop? No. I was going to get one of those ramps to see if I can go up there. But anyway, I'll just go ahead and climb up here. Isn't that cool? So I'm going to, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to climb up. Hey! Mom, look at me! Get down from there! I wonder what would happen if I go inside. Ooh. Nope. Can't go inside. Rats! I was thinking it would be hollow. Some of these things are hollow. Not this plane. Can't go in there. That is at the Tillamook Air Museum. And thus concludes another second half episode because I got interrupted with that other, I guess the bandwidth, I don't know. I didn't know there was a limit. But I'm wondering if I do a 3-hour flight on YouTube, if it's going to cut me off to do split it in half or something. But this right here is the Tillamook. Increase the speed a little bit here, going up. Well, why am I not? What's going on now? F6. I don't know what happened, but whenever I was trying to go up, it was pointing up instead of going up. Okay, you can go inside the museum. The museum is hollow. There's no planes. And anyway, there it is. Alrighty. Have a good night, everyone.